a lot of uncertainty, right? It takes one madman to create havoc. Imagine the Sri Lankan team has gone through this, and therefore nobody's going to take the risk with world-class team that we have. Nobody's going to take a risk of sending a team to an area where one disgruntled or ill-informed person can create havoc. So I think right from day one, everyone knew that India would not be traveling to Pakistan. The alternative was to find a neutral venue where India could play. And therefore, they chose Dubai. Imagine that was done at virtually the last minute. It's not easy to prepare grounds and venues and, do the ticketing and the everything else that goes around a match within a very, very short time. Dubai was ideally placed. Though this is the end of the season there, they've been playing a lot of cricket in Dubai. They have local cricket there as well.
Okay.
And therefore, the conditions were, already pretty well used. But they did pull it off, and that's credit to them.
Okay, that's the picture. Mr. Lokupalli, how do you see? I know this is the world of social media. It gets better of the traditional media, in sort of structured debates. But that seems to dominate the conversation, sir.
Well, you yourself, you believe in the social media or the traditional media? Because just because I have a Twitter account, I cannot become an authority on any subject, right? Or maybe a Facebook account or whatever, or maybe make a reel on Instagram. But here, I will go with Venkat, but I want to add one thing. All this was known in advance. All this was also known to all the captains. ICC was well aware of it. It was going on. And as far as India going and playing in Pakistan, I will only always go by what the government says, because government is in the best position than me and you to tell us how safe we would be traveling to any country in the world. Time and again, there are advisories in the media telling the people where to go and where not to travel. So here, I find it very silly that now a lot of former greats are now standing up and saying it's a biased tournament. It favors India. Now look, the pitch is same for both the teams. The playing conditions are same for both the teams. And all the teams playing in Dubai have been playing there regularly. So it is not that we are going and playing in Iceland. It is the conditions are well known to each other. So I will not buy this argument that India is in a better position just because we are playing in Dubai. So I don't buy this argument.
Kabir?
Well, absolutely, Karthik. What we need to do right now is call a spade a spade. Like Mr. Lokpalli pointed out, everybody knew that this was going to happen. This is a special situation for India, and it has to be because this is a special tournament. People in Pakistan are dying for some ICC level cricket to take place. ICC Champions Trophy champions are Pakistan 2017. So they also were expecting hamare ghar pe match hoga. So they're also coming there. How can you expect the men in blues to not participate in ICC? So we had to carve out this special situation, and Pakistan, being Pakistan, to ask some of those Sri Lankan players what they went through when that bus was attacked. Ask some of those players who actually had to face that anxious, acrimonious sort of a situation where bullets were, flying past them. In that kind of a situation, all the other logic that maybe Nasser Hussain is talking about right now, David Miller can go and back the Kiwis, the high-flying Kiwis is what he calls them.
No, it's not easy, Kabir. There's a series that has come on Netflix. I know Yashwardhan Azad. He has stories to tell you. When he went to Pakistan, the sting he had to do, and Yashwardhan, a guy who almost became an IB director but could not, was the one who was handling the entire SPG for IB. I know the gentleman, and he told me stories, the sort of stuff he had to do. Mr. Sundaram, how is India placed, on the positive side for the finals?
Well, I think that both the teams playing this final are at their peak. Let's be honest, even the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, are playing good cricket. Okay. But of course the conditions in Pakistan were ideal for batting and high scores resulted. Here the pitch is slightly slow and low because it is the end of the season there. And therefore, I think India will be at an advantage. Let's not forget that both teams have had champions who played well. We've got Williamson who's done well. You've got Ravindra who's done well. They've also done, and Henry's a terrific bowler. India has also had in every match a match winner coming out. Sometimes it's Kohli, sometimes it is the leg spinner Varun Chakravarti, sometimes it's Shami, sometimes it is. So, both the sides are equally balanced. So India, I think, has a more mature spinning attack. Of course, it then comes down to which side can handle the pressure better and who can hold their nerves. And I think a final always, there are always moments in that final where, the game goes from one side to the other. It should be a good match. I think we are all interested in seeing a good match. If you remember in the T20 Championship in the West Indies, we had a terrific final with South Africa. And I think something like that would be good for cricket. I think we should all look for good cricket here.
Okay, I'll take the closing comment from Mr. Lokapalli. How is India placed? Your assessment. And on your note, I'll close the show, sir.
I think India is probably the most balanced, the most talented. And if you see, it has bowlers who can win the games, it has batsmen who can win the game. So that's what you need. In ODI cricket, you will have to have strike bowlers who will come and make a breakthrough, break a partnership, and batsmen who can swing the game in a couple of overs. It's different from T20, I know that, but it has the world's best top five batsmen who will take the fight to the New Zealand camp. And then, like Venkat pointed out, you are playing with four spinners, so you have read the conditions very well, and importantly, you have the ammunition. Spinners. You have the world's one of the finest fast bowlers in Shami, who is known to make early breakthroughs. So I think India is very strongly placed. But yes, you can always say anything can happen on that day.
Okay, Kabir, 20 seconds to you.
Absolutely. We're looking for an emphatic final. That's what cricket fans want. But we'll tell the world right now that India has been playing smartly. Dubai is not our home ground. Dubai is not an easy place to chase down those scores. So for everybody out there who's now turning out to be that old wine in that old bottle, India is playing smartly, we're winning smartly. And when we pick up this tournament, nobody's going to complain anymore.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all of you for joining my show. That's all on All Point tonight. Thank you for watching it. Do tune in to News9 live for more updates every weekday at 7 p.m.
Women empowerment is all about letting the woman to remain the woman.
Perhaps you're right, because we've seen what men have been doing all this time.
I think we are not nurturing and leveraging 50% of our strength, which are the women.
For an educated lady, even today, the problem comes when she becomes a mother.
If the world starts getting women led, I think a lot of things will get corrected.
I 100% agree with you. Humans are different. Our needs of each other are different.
A lot of responsibilities unduly rest on women.
For too long, women have not dreamt for themselves. They've been too afraid.
When it comes to women, a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions.
And that is where we have to set that sort of environment.
The message to women was, let the spotlight of your life be on you.
We were constantly praised for any little thing that we did well. After all, we are the product of the history. We are all dependent on each other.
The men like you speak for women, speak with women.
That is the woman that you are. That is the woman you always wanted to be.
It will only grow from strength to strength. I'm a positive thinking person.
I am defined by what I do.
I'm very pleased to be here.
Thank you, Varun. Thank you for those kind words.
I am, therefore you are. That should be the message from every woman to the men.
Watch Radical Presents Duologue with Barun Das this Women's Day on the 8th of March, all day long on News9. News9, English news as it should be.
We have close to 600 million out of the 1.4 billion in our country who are under the age of 25, and 65% of our population is under 35.
We all know that if you have a choice of pilot at Air India, and one has read the book, the other one has saw the TikTok movie, and the third one has went through a simulator wins, right?
The employable youth is only increasing. We are one of the youngest nations in terms of skilled talent.
There is a mismatch in cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad.
How do you impart a pedagogy where students are just not sleeping inside the class, which is typically the case in the best of business schools as well as undergrad colleges in India? Because a lot of what is being taught in the classes, students don't find that applicable in the real world.
I find it extremely difficult to hire people because you don't get right skills.
and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Download now.
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers, the Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are